Hello everyone, I'm Courtney and welcome to my YouTube channel. So glad you're here today. Well, I am talking about how to close doors in relationships and friendships in different ways, and today's ways or this week's ways has to do with closing doors with forgiveness. I know that's sometimes hard to do. I heard a person say, well, if you're if you're not going to forgive someone, it's kind of like you drinking the poison but wishing they would die. It really doesn't work that way. Unforgiveness really does take a toll on an individual, not only on your psyche, but also in your heart and in your soul, to where unforgiveness really does affect who you are. And sometimes it just doesn't play out well for an individual who holds unforgiveness in regards to another person. I do believe unforgiveness can bring upon sickness, not just mentally, but emotionally and physically. When you're in that kind of mode of unforgiveness in regards towards a person, it is only affecting you. They're living their life, doing their thing. They don't have a clue that you still holding unforgiveness or madness toward them. So it's best to forgive and to forgive quick. I have 3 points here that I want to share with you, and I've got my notes here, so I'm going to read them off so I won't forget anything. It says, we all know that unforgiveness is poisonous to the one who does not forgive, which is what I've just explained. It just really is. If there's a reason that you can't do it, maybe the person has passed away, and you can't go back and ask them for forgiveness or have some kind of verbal talk with them. Maybe they've moved away or whatever the situation is, but you can't go back and do it. Or maybe they just won't have anything to do with you. They're just not going to listen to. You can't get any further than like right here with that individual. And so what I have done in the past, when that happened to me, it's not if, but when it did happen to me, I would sit down and have a conversation with that individual out loud, like I was talking to them, even though they weren't there. And at least I could hear myself asking them for forgiveness. And that really helped me to go forward. And then, of course, I ask as many people as I need to ask for forgiveness. And I ask God to forgive me also. And I do what I can do with my own conscience and what I can do with my own self, irregardless of whether I can or cannot with the other person. Okay, I'm not going to linger here. The second point is release them. Let them go. There is a point that sometimes we don't want to release people. We want to hold on to them and hold on to the unforgiveness, and I'm mad at you, and on and on and on and on. When you forgive someone, you have released that spirit that wants to keep bringing it up to your mind, your psyche, however often wants to bring it up. And so when you release it, you let it go, and you say, not coming here no more. In my mind, I'm not going to go through this turmoil or this torture of remembering the situation that we went through and the madness and the unforgiveness. And maybe, you screamed, hollered, and shouted at each other and slammed the door and walked out, and you don't see them no more. You need to release that, because it will bring health to your body if you do. You do get back. I got a little note here that says you do get back what you give out. I know you don't want to hear that. I didn't want to hear it either. But there is a saying that goes something like this. You've probably heard me say this before. The measure that you measure it out is the measure it will come back to you. So I don't want that in my life. I do not want that with any individual in my life. I do have a particular person in mind that I cannot have any kind of communication with them simply because they will not have communication with me. It's not that I can't talk to them, they won't talk to me. And so I just let it go. I put it in God's hands and say, you'll have to do with it whatever you want to do with it, Father. I can't control it, but I have forgiven them on purpose. You have to intentionally, on purpose, forgive people, or it will eat you up. So I don't want anything measured back to me that's not good. So that's the reason I want to forgive. And there's nothing wrong. You may have to think about it for a period of time. It may be a short period of time, but at least do it. And the third thing was here, the measure you measure out will be measured back to you. If you don't forgive, you won't be forgiven. It's just that simple. I'm not going to live my life that way. I hope and pray that you don't live your life that way and that you will forgive people. Well, if you enjoyed this mini unforgiveness, forgive people topic in regards to how to end relationships and friendships, let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done that. It helps with the algorithm of YouTube, and it helps people to know more about what this channel is all about, and it maybe can help someone. So I know they help me when I do these, and it reminds me of what I need to do as an individual person. So I'm glad you found me. Glad I found you. Go out and make it a great day, and I will see you next week.